FM 94.9.
The best players in the world and their best plays.
Magic again.
Messi through 4.
Brilliant!
Threads it in. And there's the goal from Pedro.
It's sports on 32 FM 94.9.
After the tactics comes the play.
What's he going to do? Oh!
After the play comes the goal.
Could be the match winner from Lionel Messi. Ronaldo! Aguero, they'll do it. It's a terrific goal.
After the goal comes the uproar. It's sports on 32 FM 94.9.
Thank God it's Friday. Good afternoon and welcome to today's edition of the show Scoreboard Reloaded, right on 32 FM 94.9. Yes, you know, it's the build up to the weekend, what we set to expect from various actions set to go down over the course of this weekend. We have the CAF Champions League games, the CAF Confederations game, where for so many teams, it is the penultimate or it is their penultimate games in the competition. Remember, going into today's game or this weekend's game, it is a match day 5 of the CAF Champions League as well as the CAF Confederations Cup. Outside the CAF Champions League and the CAF Confederations Cup, we'll discuss about football still on the African scene, the Women's African Cup of Nations, where there's still no certainty about Morocco being the host of this Women's African Cup of Nations. But South Africa, they are sticking their necks out to host that's the Women's African Cup of Nations. But as you talk about South Africa, you also talk about the Banyana of South Africa, where they've released the list of 38 players who might likely be on the plane to Morocco to participate, to represent the country at the African Cup of Nations. After their winning season there in Morocco, that was 3 years ago. You tell that they went back to Morocco, but they were unable to replicate such a performance at the African Cup of Nations. But one woman who missed out on the last edition due to personal reasons, her name is Thembi Kgatlana. Well, she has been included in that 38-woman list set to represent the national team there in Morocco at the Women's African Cup of Nations. And outside that, we discuss about our own darling Super Falcons of Nigeria, and then European club football from Leicester City being dogged 6 points and now close they are to the relegation battle there in the second tier of English football. And then we talk about Monaco as well, where they have ruled out Paul Pogba from the UEFA Champions League playoffs game later in this month of February. And then just to build up to what we expect over the course of the weekend in the world of football and let's say sports at large. You are listening to the voice of Oluwatimilai SAMIES on the program this afternoon. And be joined with DOLAPO on the show this afternoon, and together we'll take a look at those exciting stories that make it around to the world of sport and build up to what we expect later this weekend in the world of football. Starting from tomorrow, 1:30, it is Tottenham against Manchester United. But the big one, with everything on the line on Sunday in England, it is Liverpool against Manchester City. Good afternoon, DOLAPO.
Good afternoon, Samis, and good afternoon to everyone who has joined us on the show this afternoon. It's a great one to be here to talk sports. After the interesting things that happened yesterday, Ademola Lookman scoring and assisting on his debut. Maybe you call yesterday a day for debutants because he scored his 100th career goal, and also in the Saudi Arabian League, Karim Benzema made his debut for Al Hilal after he moved from Al Ittihad and also scored an hat-trick and created an assist in his first game for Al Hilal, in a game where he performed really well. So, good day for the debutants, but then the best one for me personally has to be the goal for Ademola Lookman and the assist he created in his first start. I was surprised he started the game actually when I saw the lineup and I saw him starting. I was a bit surprised because I was thinking he was going to come off the bench, but then he started and performs well. I can't really remember the last time I saw Atletico Madrid under Diego Simeone score 5 goals, and it was one of the key reasons why they were able to play that well, and not against any side. he was playing against Real Betis, who is a team on form at the moment as well. And that is good for him to score on his debut and start creating that awareness. The fans now like him. And now they are in the semi-final of the Copa del Rey in Spain, where they will now be playing against Barcelona in the semi-final. Atletico Madrid will host the first leg, and then the second leg will go on the Camp Nou. Good one for him. Let's see, maybe he will just win his first trophy for Atletico Madrid this season.
All right, it's a good one. You mentioned Ademola Lookman and how it was a great night for him against the Real Betis. But according to the words of Diego Simeone, the head coach of Atletico de Madrid, he said Lookman is different from all the players we have, especially in one-on-one situations, but he also has associative play. His profile allows us to use him in different positions, and his impact on the team was very good. He felt comfortable, and hopefully we can help him become an even better footballer, just as he can help us grow as a team. Well, you mentioned it, a goal and an assist on his debut for Atletico de Madrid. And then I just want to see him perform maybe so good against the FC Barcelona in the Copa del Rey semi-finals. For FC Barcelona, they are a side who likes playing on the island. And I think Ademola Lookman, he thrives also with a lot of space.
I think he would perform well against Barcelona. If he plays against Barcelona, with the way Barca set up under Hansi Flick, I think he will be able to perform well, especially with the way the Barcelona's defense line look like. He will be able to perform very well, and he will probably get a goal or an assist against them. But now, back to what Cholo said, I mean, that is Diego Simeone, where he said he can play different positions. I don't want to see him playing as a wing back. In as much as you say you want to try him on different position, don't try to play him as a wing back. Now, this is me begging. I understand you play the 4-4-2 system. It is one thing I've known for Diego Simeone over the last few years now. He wants to play with two-man attack, two-man up front. Don't play him as the wing back. It's either you use him as the attacking midfielder the same way Jose Pizarro used him at the last the AFCON of 2023, or you use him as a second man beside Antoine Griezmann, beside Solot, or beside Julian Alvarez. Don't play him as a wing back or as a left back, because I know Cholo very well. It's very, very, he has talked about him being good as a one-on-one and all of that. He might just decide to say, go play right back. Go and play from there. It is something Diego Simeone can do, and I think that would not be good enough for Ademola Lookman. He will try very well in Spain attackingly. He won't really perform from the back.
All right, still talking about debutants outside Ademola Lookman. Let's go straight to the Saudi Pro League, where for Cristiano Ronaldo is set to boycott yet another game. But for the man you mentioned, Karim Benzema, scored a hat-trick yesterday in the Saudi Pro League. And of course, this has further helped Al Ahly, that's in the Saudi Pro League, to still solidify them, their position that's at the top of the Saudi Pro League. And for Cristiano Ronaldo's side, they are still second. They're in the Saudi Pro League. If you take a look at the standing, they are set to play against INT'L. I think that's is it INT'L now? Yeah, I'll check. I'll check for that for them. But you take a look at everything presently. They're in the Saudi Pro League, and for Cristiano Ronaldo, now Karim Benzema switched sides and scored a hat-trick for himself yesterday to give Al Hilal 50 points in the Saudi Pro League after a stretch of 3 games without a victory. But for Cristiano Ronaldo's side, yet to play, they have 46 points. Should they win, they'll go to 49 points, and that is still 1 point behind Karim Benzema's Al Hilal.
I think one thing has just been very clear over the last few years. Al Hilal is the biggest team in Saudi Arabia, whether Ronaldo likes it or not. They are the biggest side in that part of the world. Even in Asia, one of the biggest sides. Just like one of their chairman rightly said some weeks ago, Al Hilal is the biggest side there, and it will be very hard to compete against them. This season, after 20 games in the league, yes, they played draws, but then they are still unbeaten in the Saudi Pro League this season. 20 games, 15 wins, and 5 draws. So that shows how good they've been in the Saudi Arabian Pro League this season. For Ronaldo's and Nasser, they've been in this situation some months. So for the past 2 seasons now, where they chase Al Hilal, they chase Al Ahly, who also have won the league in time past, but then they've not been able to do it. When it matters the most is when they falter. That is when they start to drop points, and it is something you can see with them this season very well. Now this weekend they play against Al Nassr. I think that should be today, 6:30 p.m. today. They play against Al Ittihad. Al Ittihad currently are depleted. Most of their players left. Karim Benzema left. N'Golo Kante also left. Yes, I understand they brought in Yusuf En-Nesyri from Fenerbahce, but then would it be on the same level where Karim Benzema is? I don't really think so. So they might have the chance against Al Ittihad, but then Al Ittihad won't be easy. Let's not forget they still have the likes of Fabinho and Co in this Al Ittihad side. So it won't be a very easy game for Al Nassr as well. And now without Cristiano Ronaldo, who was not included in the match day squad list for them, Ronaldo just needs to get his head together and get back into the team. He posted on his birthday yesterday that he's already training, but probably needs to settle some things with the hierarchy at Al Nassr and get back to training. He is a footballer, that team. He's not one of the team chairman. He's not one of the owners of this team. I know he's a big player. He wants to win, but at the end of the day, you have to leave signings of player. You have to leave things that has to do with the hierarchy of the club for the hierarchy to deal with, and you do your job, which is to play football on the pitch of play.
Well, Cristiano Ronaldo playing on the field of play, and then for tomorrow or this weekend's action, 𝐶𝐈𝐒 Califat return to the field of play against the Oluyole Warriors. So not the best of performance for the Oluyole Warriors in a recent timeout, but they'll be up against a 𝐶𝐈𝐒 Califat side at the Dananium Stadium over the course of this weekend. But what should we expect from the Oluyole Warriors on Sunday?
Well, I'm not actually thinking of this as a shooting star or as someone from Ibadan. I'm thinking of it from a perspective of a football fan generally now. I want to see what 𝐶𝐈𝐒 Califat would do in this game for a team in less than 48 hours ago that announced they won't be playing in the league again. They've withdrawn from the league. Now they are back and they are ready to play the game against Shooting Stars. Some of the players didn't really believe they'll be playing again in the league. Some of them probably have thought they've gone. 𝐶𝐈𝐒 Califat have not been good over the last few weeks as well, in as much as Shooting Stars have not been good as well. But then you look at the table this season, you look at what they've done in the NPFL this season. They've been one of those teams that are very good away from home. I think they've gotten 9 points away from home in the NPFL this season. So they've been good at home. And when you're playing against teams like these that look to be depleted, yes, they didn't play their game last weekend. I just have a feeling that Shooting Stars can go away from home and get at least a draw in this game. I don't think I see them losing this game.
DOLAPO doesn't see Shooting Stars losing this game later this weekend. But then we would have Remo Stars against the Kano Pillars, still in the Nigeria Premier Football League. But for the Pride of Rivers, they won't be in action. That's because of their involvement in the CAF Champions League for this season. Warri will also be up against the Academy Warriors, Plateau United against the Kwara United, Bendel will be up against the Yimba, Abia Warriors against the Enugu Rangers, Wiki Tourists against Katsina, Nasarawa United against Bayelsa United, and then in Kurudu City will be up against Niger Tornadoes in the Nigeria Premier Football League. Now, quickly, before we talk about men's football, still let's quickly digress to women's football. It's all about the women's Super League there in England, where the dominance of Chelsea Football Club seems to be over.
Oh, well, Sonia Bompastor is not getting things right for Chelsea, and a whole lot of Chelsea fans want her out of the team. They want her to leave. They believe she's not doing the right thing for the club. And then you look at it this season, it's not been the best for Chelsea Football Club that has been known to dominate this league. I think they won the league last season unbeaten, and at the moment, they are 8 points, or I think it's 8 points or 9 points behind table toppers Manchester City on the table.
8 points.
8 points. They lost 5-1 to Manchester City last weekend in the WSL. So they've not been good this season.
Did you say 8 points? 12 points.
12 points.
Yes.
Before the game it was 9, and now it's 12 points behind Manchester City. It looks like City will be winning the league this season because they are 9 points ahead of second place Manchester United at the moment with just 8 games to go, if I'm not mistaken. I feel like City would win the league. And for Chelsea Football Club, at the end of the season, if Sonia Bompastor does not win the Champions League, I feel like she would get sacked. Yes, she talked about the team have had a lot of injuries.
Even the great MIA said they didn't win the Champions League for Chelsea.
Yeah, but then she won the league. She didn't lose the league.
But Sonia Bompastor won the league last season. She won the league
last season, but now this is not about last season. There's this thing.
But in her words, she said injuries to be blamed for the form of Chelsea.
This is it. at Chelsea Football Club, the women football club for Chelsea, you don't expect them to be third after 14 games played in the league.
You mean Manchester City after their enforcement? 𝐃𝐈𝐒 is still there. You have Vivian Miedema.
You don't expect Chelsea to be 12 points behind Manchester City.
But could this be down to back-to-back defeats to the hands of Arsenal in front of their home fans, and also the thumping by a side that looks like the champions already, Manchester City?
This is it. Before that, Chelsea have not been good this season. They've been struggling. Yes, I understand that Manchester City they've been very, very good in the WSL this season. I think they've lost only 1 game in 14 games this season, and without a draw, they've scored 41 goals in the league this season. So the Manchester City women team have been very, very good in the WSL this season. But this is for the level Chelsea have put themselves over the last few years when it comes to women football in England. Last season they won the league without losing a single game. 2 seasons ago they won it. 3 seasons ago they won it. So they've been winning consecutively. We know them as winners when it comes to WSL, and it looks like Manchester City over the last 2 or 3 years as well have been the chasing part.
But don't you think, in the world of football, all these moments doesn't last forever?
Yes.
And it's just about time Chelsea they get overtaken.
Yes, that is the truth. That is the truth. But then the hierarchy of Chelsea Football Club and the fans does not see it that way, and I personally don't see it that way as well, because I feel like the way Sonia Bombaso have managed this women's team this season have not been good enough. The way she put the players to play, her style of play. I saw the Arsenal Chelsea game and I was telling myself, this is not the Chelsea I saw last season under Sonia Bombaso. I think the way she played last season is the same approach he brought into this season, thinking it will work. And I think many of the teams in the WSL this season have probably watched that again and saw the way they play and probably feel like we can get over this team, we can play against them and we can win against them. So many teams have come out to play against them and they are getting the results. Yes, injuries are part of it, but so far so good. Our coaching as well is questionable. The way she has set this team to play is not really to the level we expect Chelsea to play at.
All right, that's for DOLAPO. But the actions are set to continue this weekend in the Women's Super League. Is Leicester against Manchester United, who are second on the log. Arsenal will be up against the Manchester City, and I think this is a game for Arsenal to still maybe play the catch of the 8 games left in the Women's Super League.
It's gone.
You think it's gone?
It's gone. It's gone. I feel like Manchester City will win this. I think they would win this with. In fact, I expect City to win this with games to spare. I don't see
Arsenal as a game in hand.
I don't see,
just because of their involvement in the
regardless, I don't see Arsenal meeting this level. Arsenal in the league as well, they are inconsistent. Remove the fact that they won the FIFA Champions Cup and they won the Champions League last season.
But they only have 1 defeat as well.
They are but too much of draws.
5 draws.
That is it, and that is the difference between them and Manchester City. City have won 13 in 14 games and lost only 1. Arsenal is inconsistent. You see them draw games where you expect them to win. So under the coach now, I think one thing for her is she performs well this week. Next week the performance drop drastically. And for Arsenal women as well, I think the hierarchy also needs to check if at the end of the season she goes trophyless. Yes, I understand she won the Champions League last season, but for the amount of money
she just signed a contract extension.
Yes, for the amount of money she spent during this summer. She brought in,
but they've won a trophy. They have something to show for it.
They've won the FIFA Champions Cup. Maybe that would just save her job. But if I feel like she should be at the start of the season, I was telling myself with the recruitment Arsenal did, I was expecting them to win either the WSL or the Champions League. But then the Champions League is still ongoing and they can still win it like they did last season. Though I don't see that happening. And the league, for me personally, I feel like it's over. I feel like Manchester City will win the WSL this season.
For Chelsea, they have the opportunity of bouncing back against Tottenham later this weekend. And our darling Chiamaka Nnadozie side, that's Brighton and Hove Albion, will be up against the West Ham Football Club. For Chiamaka Nnadozie, well, of course, our side seats 7th on the standings of the WSL. Now, quickly, Thembi Kgatlana being involved included in the 36 women shortlist for the Banyana Banyana South Africa, set to be in Morocco for this year's Women's African Cup of Nations. I think that's actually a good mark for the Banyana Banyana South Africa after she missed out on the last edition in Morocco due to personal reasons. She's a legend in her own way. Scored their first goal at the Women's World Cup, and then she has done so well. She was influential in their victory, defeating the Atlas Lionesses of Morocco in front of their home fans. That was years ago when they won their first and only Women's African Cup of Nations title. Quickly, to club football games are set to go down this weekend. Starting from tonight, Leeds United against Nottingham Forest, Celta Vigo will be up against Osasuna, Union Berlin against Eintracht Frankfurt, Hellas Verona will be up against Pisa, and Metz will be up against Lille. That's talking about the actions for today. About for tomorrow, it's all about the big boys, heavyweights, actions. Manchester United against Tottenham. Arsenal, they have the opportunity to extend their lead at the top of the table to 9 points before Manchester City takes on to the field of play at the Anfield against against Liverpool, while Chelsea, they'll be hoping to get back to winning ways after their ouster of the EFL Cup against Arsenal Football Club, and Newcastle the same against Brentford. But then you talk a lot about all of these actions. Bayern Munich, no game on Saturday, but Borussia Mönchengladbach against the Bayer Leverkusen, would have Borussia Dortmund against Wolfsburg. And I think that the German league also is still open. Where you look at the standings, yes,
5 points behind.
5 points. Look at the drop of performance in which Bayern Munich they've been given the last 2 games. They've been winless in their last 2 games as well. But to the biggest ones, that's the games by 1:30 tomorrow between Manchester United and Tottenham Football Club.
Oh, well, for me personally, I expect same of what I saw in the first leg of this game that ended 2-2 some months ago when Manchester United and Tottenham Hotspur face each other. I think it will just be almost the same thing this season again. Last season, Spurs defeated Manchester United not once, not twice. They defeated them 4 times last season, and they also won the conference, the UEFA Europa League against Manchester United. Looks like they have the numbers. Spurs really don't have numbers against teams, but then looks like they have the good numbers against Manchester side. Teams from Manchester got a draw against Manchester United, against Manchester City last weekend. And the way Manchester United have been this season under Carrick, 3 games, 3 wins, was nominated for the coach of the month as well, with his very good performance. Defeated Arsenal, defeated Manchester City, and also defeated Fulham. But over the last couple of weeks now, especially since Dominic Solanke got back for Tottenham Hotspur, looks like Tottenham Hotspur has become a different team entirely. Yes, they've not won a Premier League game since December last year, and I think that would continue as well. I still don't see them beating Manchester United this weekend, but I also don't see Manchester United beating Spurs. I expect Solanke to score again because they have a very good record against Manchester United as well. Check his last 5 games against Manchester United. They have scored 5 goals in his last 5 against United. I see him scoring again. Yes, in as much as Manchester United have been good under Carrick, one thing has been very clear, and many people are not looking in that direction because Manchester United are winning games. Defensively, they are solid one way or the other, but the midfield look not really good. The way they play, the way you look at their midfield, you look at the way attackers get past their midfield and get to their defense line. Martinez has been good, Maguire has been good, but then the team has not really been that good defensively with the numbers of goals they've conceded 2 against Fulham, conceded 2 against Arsenal Football Club. Spurs these days, they look like a team that has goals in them. They've been scoring goals over the last couple of weeks, even though they are not winning games. I think Manchester United, their honeymoon with Carrick comes to an end this weekend. I expect them to get their first draw against Tottenham Hotspur.
Well, if you think that's about that, but there is one Manchester United fan out there who is still waiting for the Red Devils to go on a stretch of 5 games without a defeat. Not only a defeat, 5 straight games with a victory for Manchester United. But that has not been possible since not last year now, make it 2 years. But then we move away from that and talk about the Sunday actions are set to go down. Atletico Madrid once again against the Real Betis at the end of the Spanish La Liga. We would have Valencia against the Real Madrid. Real Madrid, they have been coping with the chase. That's the chase for the Spanish title, down to some decisions that have gone in their favor, in which ordinarily shouldn't have been.
Oh, well, for Real Madrid, I think they are good footballs to watch out for on Sunday, actually. For Real Madrid, it looks like, for me, they have been lucky. Let me just put it that way, because you look at the last game when they were playing 1-1 draw and that penalty late on in the game. I've seen players lose penalty, but was that really a penalty? I don't really think so. So I've seen decisions go their way this season, and then they are enjoying it at the moment. They're getting the results. But I think it's just about how long would Arbeloa continue to get these things in his favour? Because since he came in, I don't think Madrid have been as good as you probably have expected them to be.
All right, thanks so much, everyone who has joined and been a part of the show this lovely Friday afternoon. Until we meet again tomorrow by 3 p.m. The pitch before we join our partners, the BBC, for the 4 p.m. kickoff games there in the English Premier League. I'm SAMIES, your sports captain. I've done this alongside DOLAPO. Do enjoy the rest of the day, and bye for now.